Yeah, it's been an honor to be a part of a championship team, a group of guys who's done it before, and so everybody has their role here. Everybody's trying to contribute, and ultimately, I think we've built a really good unit. We talk about our chemistry, continuity. Spags has done a great job leading the charge, but yeah, we're getting more and more comfortable together as players as it keeps going.
What's the challenge like to figure out when you can hit a quarterback when they're running like that?
Yeah, Josh is a really good runner. He brings a lot of physicality to the point of contact. He's got a great stiff arm. He's got a lot of great elusiveness. And so certainly when you're playing that game, is he going down, is he not, it makes it tough as a tackler. But he's a great runner, and we know we'll have to bring it.
How tough is he to play against? He can turn a bad play into a winning play.
Yeah, he can. He's great at extending the play. I think when you look at the great quarterbacks across the league, whenever you talk about Pat, Herbert, Josh Allen, Lamar, all these guys, they're able to extend the play. It makes it tough on the rush, makes it tough on the coverage in the back end, and he certainly does that.
You got into Patrick Mahomes' head when you were playing for the Chargers, and he's talked about that. Have you been able to do that with Josh Allen in his head a little bit?
Well, actually, I've never played Josh. That was the game I missed this year after the Green Bay game, so I'm looking forward to playing it.
When the guy's coming downhill that's maybe bigger than you got to change mentality a little bit? Like, man, this is going to hurt, but I got to hit him?
Yeah, we talk about killing the engine all the time, and when you have powerful runners like Josh, even Cook can churn the legs. You got to go low, got to stop that engine, what we say.
He's had some turnover issues earlier this year, Josh.
Yeah.
Have you guys studied those things? I mean, is there some common denominator? I mean, how do you turn somebody over, I guess?
I think whenever you have a guy trying to make plays, like he's going to sometimes force the ball downfield and trust his guys to make a play. And when he does that, we got to believe in ourselves that we're going to come up with the ball. And, there's been instances of that, and there's been instances where his guys have made plays. So those 50-50 balls in the deep part of the field, when he's in the pocket and is using that stiff arm and the ball's loose, we got to take advantage of those and try to get the ball away from him.
You came here for, obviously, a chance to win a championship. What was it like being on the field with this team in a playoff setting for the first time? And what did you learn about yourself, the group, and maybe even Spags?
Yeah, it was a special game for many reasons. Obviously, the elements and the weather and how we came together as a team. Felt like it was one of our more complete games as a football team. And so to be there, see our fans sitting there for 3-4 hours in those elements, the energy, the swag surf, all those things that just made it such a fun environment for me and my family, and we're certainly grateful to be a part of it.
What is it about Spags when you go from regular season to playoff specific, especially when you know it's a rematch?
Well, I think this coaching staff's done a great job of keeping our routine the same. That's one thing I respect about Spags and Coach Reed is if you were just a fly on the wall, you wouldn't necessarily know whether it was regular season or playoffs, and I think that's what makes a champion, right? Consistency. But Spags has certain points that he brings up. He said, hey, it's playoff football, you got to tackle. You got to tackle really well. You got to be assignment sound. You got to take care of your body. All these things, and he certainly has experience and track record of playing. So, certainly leaning on him for his wisdom.
You mentioned that weather. Buffalo's a lot of times in the playoffs had a weather advantage over teams.
Sure.
You guys just went through what you went through.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like you can play in anything?
Yeah, I mean, certainly as you get later in the year, the temperatures drop, the elements come in, and so being here in Kansas City and having the weather we've had is certainly an advantage to be able to get outside and for our quarterback to throw in the cold, our receivers to catch in the cold, our defense to be able to move around and feel that out. And so, it's certainly an advantage for us to have that.
You talked about killing the engine with tackling Josh.
Yeah.
Going against Pacheco, how much does that help in that regard?
Yeah, Pop's another one of those guys. You got to kill the engine on Pop. We had a lot of fun encounters, if you will. Him and I did in the past, but he's a great player and brings a lot of energy and juice to our team.
What are some things from the first matchup that y'all are picking out and fixing this time?
Well, they got James Cook involved in the passing game quite a bit. You can see that. That was certainly a point of emphasis for them. I think Josh made a lot of really good plays. I'm thinking back to that 4th and 1 when they were pushing the ball in the red zone, and he kind of extended the play, scrambled a little bit, held off Nick there for a second and was able to dump it down to Kincaid or Knox to get the first down. He just does a lot of great things, and we're up to be dotting our I's and crossing our T's because he's a great player.
What do you feel like you get a little bit differently when you and Nick are on the field at the same time?
I think we have a lot of great players in our room, and I think me and Nick both being out there. Obviously I played Mike as well, and so some of the checks and stuff and the communications, we're able to both make because we both kind of play Mike. So maybe that.
This time of year for you guys, for you personally.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is my 3rd playoff game, obviously. Had a really disappointing loss. with the Chargers last year, and then I get my first playoff win this past week. I think whenever you're like one of 8 teams, one of 14 teams, whatever it is, I think it's a special, and it just gets more special as it goes on. And so a lot of guys are Cabo or Cancun or elsewhere that were here. I had a cool moment like Saturday afternoon. I came in here before the game and had my little routine, but I'm like walking to my locker and I'm like, man, like I hope I get another week here. It's like special to just keep going week in, week out in the playoffs.
Was that you in shorts before the game?
That was Leo. Come on, that's Leo Chenal, man, the Wisconsin boy.
And you definitely didn't do the barefoot walk, right?
No barefoot walk. Yeah.